that our health is our wealth. And so I'd like to introduce Michelle. She's going to share with us some vital information. Porchia, thank you so much, Michelle Porchia, founder and lead facilitator and coach of Inner Dimensions, and also a phenomenal woman she is as a masterminder and part of Ebony Mastermind Group. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate the invitation. It is a pleasure to be here. I am wonderfully 70 and proud of it. And I totally echo what you said about our health being our wealth, because without our health, it's very hard to do really anything else. And my model has always been, I know I have to get older, but I don't have to get old. And so regardless of what your age is right now, I would encourage you to take care of yourself and to take care of your health and to sow into your health, because it's really important. And even though what I'm going to be talking about is Medicare and Medicaid, which is basically for people over 65, although there are some exceptions, again, as Ann said, you know people that may need this information or who are approaching this information, but I want to encourage you, again, to take care of yourself. I found out what I didn't know when I started approaching the time to apply for Medicare. And the age to apply for Medicare is 65, at least as of now. And I attended a workshop through the Senior Center to learn about it. I actually attended that workshop twice because I thought what I heard the first time I didn't hear correctly. I was misinformed that everything under Medicare was free. And that's what I believe. And it's not. You pay a monthly premium, you have a deductible. So there is a cost to Medicare. Again, I didn't know that. And so that was my first surprise. And then I had to learn about deadlines. If you don't apply by the deadlines, which is 3 months before your 65th birthday, through 3 months after your 65th birthday, you get penalized. And it's not a one-time penalty. You get penalized for the rest of your life, and you get penalized in different areas. So you pay more than one penalty. So it's like, oh my goodness. So at least I didn't get penalized. I signed up in time. But it was really important for me to understand this whole process. And then I started sharing it with Ebony speakers. And so I also want to talk about the difference. There's a difference between Medicare and Medicaid, and people often get confused. So I do want to clarify that a little bit. Medicare is a federal insurance for anyone age 65 and older, and some people under 65 with disabilities or conditions. Medicaid is a joint federal and state program that provides health coverage for some people with limited income and resources. Medicaid offers benefits like nursing home care, personal care services, assistance paying for Medicare premiums and other costs. So there is definitely a difference between Medicare and Medicaid, and oftentimes people interchange the terms, and they're actually very different and cover very different things. There is an eligibility, which I'm not going to go into a whole lot of Medicaid, but eligibility levels for parents are presented as a percentage of the 2023 federal poverty level. And so for a family of 3, that's only $24,880. That's not a lot of money, but that's how they can qualify. Eligibility limits for single adults without dependent children are presented in a percentage of an individual, which is $14,850. We're talking really low incomes here for people to get assistance. So Medicare, there are several pieces to Medicare. One is what they call Part A, which is your hospital insurance. It helps you to cover inpatient care in hospitals, skilled nursing facility care, hospice care, and home health care. This is a requirement for Medicare. Part B, which is also a requirement, is medical insurance, and it helps services from doctors, other healthcare providers, outpatient care, home health care, durable medical equipment. So if you need like a wheelchair or a walker, hospital bed, things like that, it will actually help cover some of those expenses. It has also preventative services like screening, shots, vaccines, yearly wellness. I also want to mention here that depending upon what other insurance you get, which I'm going to talk about in a second, it can also help with your mental health care, which is so important. Again, regardless of your age, mental health is important. Therapy is wonderful. And we all need to get some kind of help at some point in time to be able to talk to somebody and make sure that we're doing mentally well, especially with a lot of the stuff that's been going on lately. So that can also be covered in there. Part D, which is drug coverage, which is something you have to get on your own, helps to cover the cost of prescription drugs, including many recommended shots and vaccines. And you can join Medicare drug plan in addition to the original Medicare, or you can get drug care by Medicare Advantage plan, which includes drug care. And there is a difference between the regular Medicare and Medicare Advantage plan. For those of you who have health insurance, perhaps through companies, you know, there's the Advantage plan where it supposedly covers everything. And then, or you have your own where you get to pick the things that you want to have. And so these plans cover different things. And again, it's about what you need, and you need to know what you want for your health, where you decide if you want regular Medicare or if you want the Medicare Advantage. You also need to get a supplemental insurance, which they call Medigap. This is extra insurance you can buy from a private company that helps you pay your share of costs of the original Medicare policy. It's standardized, and usually most people get what's called a Plan G or a K, and the benefits are the same as far as what the companies offer. So you don't have this insurance company charging you $500 a month, and then this insurance company charging you $1,000 a month. The plans are set. And so it's a matter of what company do you want to go with and some of the small nuances that they offer. But as far as what the plans offer, it's set. And so be careful about anybody trying to sell you anything else, because that's all they're trying to do is sell you stuff. But again, it comes down to what it is that you need. Even though I, praise God, at 70, I take one medication and it's for my thyroid. And I have taken that since I was in my 20s, and I will have to take it the most of my life. So I am so thankful though, because I worked hard to take care of my health, that's the only medication I'm on. I do take supplements, natural supplements to help. But my thing was, well, why do I need a drug plan? I'm not really on drugs. And going through resources, which I'm going to share with you, explained to me why I needed to have that drug care. Plus, if I didn't have it, I would get penalized 1% every month for the rest of my life. So I got it. It's something that you can do there's a period every year where you can change plans. You don't tend to change your Medigap plan, but you can change your drug plan, and you can, look at other things. And so through one of the resources that I used, showed me that I was paying so much money for my drug plan when I didn't even really take drugs. And they're like, why are you paying all that money monthly when you're not even on medication? And so they helped me to shop and find a much cheaper drug plan, because that's different. And it's just great. And because I get my medicine in the mail for 90 days, I pay $0 for my medicine. I just pay my monthly plan, which is now $11. Before I was paying like $30 and then $6 for my medicine. She said, why are you paying all that? So again, it's really important with the resources that I'm going to give you to do your research, which I know you all talk about, looking into things, educating yourself, and making sure that you have the information that you need. And so that's important. There are two ways that you can sign up for Medicare. You have the Advantage plan, which I mentioned, and then you have the original Medicare. The Advantage plan does tend to cover the Part D medical plan, prescription plan. What I have found, and again, I don't want to sway you either way, but for me, I didn't want to have to deal with co-pays and things like that. And with Medicare Advantage, there are co-pays and there are minimums, and I didn't want to have to deal with that. So I'm not going to go through all the different costs of Medicare, but I did go through the main ones. That Part A, I pay $164.90 a month, and that comes out of my Social Security check. And then for Part B, I have a $226 deductible for the year. And once I pay that, and then I, have my share. So they pay 50% of things. Or one additional thing that you want to get on your own, especially as you age, is dental. Dental doesn't pay a whole lot, so I will tell you that now, but it's really worth having because it pays something after having gone through a whole lot of dental, which I'm still in the process of doing right now. Having dental plan is helpful. So how does Medicare work to get you to the process? You need to sign up for Part A and B. You do that once each year. You can choose which health coverage that you want. It's still not recommended that you change your Medigap, but you can change your Part D for your prescriptions. Medicare is different from private insurance, and it doesn't offer plans for couples or families. So each person chooses their own Medicare plan. So it's not family plans like you have with healthcare and all that. It's an individual plan for each person. So you could have one and your partner could have another one, and your older children or whatever could have another plan. It's all different. You don't have to make the same choices. There are 2 steps to the process. You sign up for Part A and you sign up for Part B. And every year there is an open sign up procedural time. You need to look that up and make sure that you know what it is. You can also decide if you're going to, again, choose original or advantage. I want to emphasize, if you don't meet the deadlines and you don't sign up, you will pay a penalty. And the penalty is for the rest of your life. It's a 10% penalty for Part B and a 1% penalty for Part D. So I really encourage you to go and find out, make sure you know the deadlines. It's 3 months before your 65th birthday and 3 months after your 65th birthday, which you have to do within that process. So to get detailed information, you want to go to Medicare.gov. It is actually a really good site. I was like, oh, a government site, what is it going to tell me? It actually is really good. You can do comparisons of the insurance plans. You can look at what the dates are. It explains to you in detail everything you need to know to get ready and prepare for Medicare. You sign up on the Medicare.gov and it just walks you through everything. It actually is a really good site. And it breaks down the information in easy, understandable terms. So you want to start with going to Medicare.gov and understand what are the requirements, what are the timelines, are the deadlines, and what are the penalties. Secondly, wherever you live, there should be a Department of Aging. They are also a really good organization. They're free most of the time with the information. They offer workshops that are free. And it's a great place to start to also get information. The other place is called, and I don't know if every place has this, it's SHIP, which is SHIIP. It's the State Health Insurance Assistance, and it stands for the Seniors Health Insurance Information Program. They put on the workshops that I attended, and they were really good. And again, they're free. It's done by volunteers, and the information was phenomenal. They gave a great packet. And explained everything in detail. And lastly, there's the senior centers. They offer programs and information. That's how I found out about SHIP. And that's where I attended, was through a senior center. So there are a lot of resources as you start to age that are really good. Because at first I'm like, I'm not going to a senior center. I'm still vibrant. And it's like being vain, but senior centers are awesome. I also take yoga there, health. I also take line dance there, or did before COVID, health. They have workouts, health. And most of the time it's free or very minimal cost. So again, utilize your resources. One last resource for people who are approaching 55. I know all of you have heard of AARP. Most of us didn't want to acknowledge AARP because 55 was, oh, I'm getting old, I'm turning 55. AARP is another great resource. They offer online education programs, most of which are free to members. If you're not a member, there's nominal charges for it. I took a plant-based cooking class for 6 weeks through AARP. They did a home safety thing through AARP. So when you start approaching 55, you will start getting things in the mail about AARP. It's a great resource. don't turn your nose up at it, at least look into it. It's a great place for education and information.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.